Hey guys, Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you another video. So today we are working on, of course, another shell. The next two videos will also be shells, but I broke the rules immediately. If we know anything about me and shells, it's that, rules are meant to be broken for me. Uh, so this is another shell by SariasLP. There's still a few more shells that I want to work on in the background. You might not necessarily see them as videos, but, um, they'll definitely be on the gallery if you're interested. When I actually get around to it. But Sarius has 15 shells up at the moment as Christmas Village shells, and the idea is that you do one shell time. I mean, you could even just do one, it doesn't have to be multiple. And I thought, no, I'm gonna do all 15, but I also have got not a lot of time, so why don't I try and pick something that's in between? Where I can do all 15, but also like not have to do 15 separate builds. So I've turned it into 3 builds. Also, Cyrus, if you're hearing this, no, I did not do any of this. Don't know what you're talking about. Haven't done anything. I just did one build at a time. Look, I've told Cyrus that I'm doing all 15 builds, but I haven't told her how. And I'm really hoping she doesn't spoil it. I'm gonna tell her not to look, but I feel like telling her not to look is gonna make her is frustrating, but if I don't tell her not to look, she might look anyway. So really, either way, it's a gamble. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing 3 separate build styles, I guess. So this first one is sort of like a summery Christmas village that you might find somewhere rural. Just like a little town village type thing. You know, maybe this is like the 5 houses who actually live in town. This is the entire town. And then everyone else lives out in like the rural farm areas. Um, and I guess it's the best way to represent Australia. Um, I mean, 90 something percent of, I think it's like 96-97% of people in Australia live coastally. Um, but there are a lot of small towns like this dotted in between cities. So I guess kind of imagine one of those little towns that like that's this. And the idea is to have a little Christmas lunch on the pathway in the middle. I didn't realize how big a 64 by 64 lot is because the dinner looks absolutely tiny. Just like minuscule. So yeah, I was thinking maybe I should have shrunk it down, but it wouldn't have fit the way I wanted it to fit if I didn't do it. So I'm happy with how it turned out. We're just gonna leave it as is. And to save myself time, I did not furnish the interiors of, I was gonna say any of the buildings, let's say most of the buildings. I forgot and I did the church. So on the left, which already has the wallpaper on, is church, the little single-story building. And then the other 3 buildings, the one on the left and the 2 on the right, are houses, and then the one at the end is sort of supposed to be like a town hall, a grocer, a post office, like it's a bit of everything. Not many people who live here. And I kind of designed it for 3 different life stages. So the house next to the church is where an elderly couple live. This house that we are working on now with the brick at the bottom and the siding on top is where a couple who's just had a baby live. And the house next to it that is mostly brown, well, red, the red brick, that is a house with maybe 1 or 2 kids. I don't know. But all of the kids who live out on the farms, when they come into town, they hang out. So maybe like after school or whatever. Maybe the town hall is also a school. I don't know. So yeah, they all hang out at that kid's house. But yeah, since it's Christmas, they're having like their Christmas lunch at the I almost want to say driveway, but they don't really have cars in The Sims, so I didn't bother with driveways. Otherwise, I would have yeah, absolutely done something like that. Um, I don't know. It's just I feel like to me. Like, I feel like if you're Australian, if you live somewhere rural, this might have some sort of meaning to you, and you'd be like, yeah, I can see where you're going with this. I've always lived in a city. I've been through many rural places. I've driven between cities, but yeah, never lived there. So I really hope I did kind of nail the aesthetic on the head. I did do a lot of Googling of rural towns and things like that, um, just to try and make sure everything sort of matched up and looked good. Um, but I imagine in other countries you probably have rural towns that look like this and do similar things to this, where uh, they have like lunch together on the street or whatever. And it's not really a street, but it is. But um, so yeah, that's kind of the vibes for this. I do have two other lots set up. Um, so in case you're wondering how I did this, because if you don't know anything about The Sims, you can't download multiple buildings onto the same lot. You can do rooms, but not buildings. And what I did was downloaded one, took screenshots from above, and then deleted it. Or I didn't even have to delete it. I just downloaded the next one, took screenshots from above, and then with the last one, I didn't. I just kept it on the lot, and then I built the other four back from scratch. So if you do end up doing this challenge, because it's still on at the moment, I believe it's the 30th for the US, the 31st if you're Australian, or on this side of the planet. That yeah, that's when the tours are happening, and I've totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, so if you still want to do it, you absolutely can. So if you download a build and you're like, wait, how did you get all of them on there? That's how. I built them from scratch, and I did it for the other two lots as well. So yeah, two out of three out of 15 builds I didn't build from scratch, but the rest of them I did. If they look slightly different, that's fine. Also, the reason why I'm a lot less I don't want to say cautious, but worried about following the rules for this challenge is because Sarias is very much like, if you cheat with a purpose, then you're good. Like, you don't have to worry about it. It's you've got a purpose. There's a reason why you're doing it. So go crazy. Well, maybe not go crazy, but you can twist it a little bit. So I'm hoping that this is an acceptable level of bending the rules, cheating with purpose. Um, it's just like every time I do a shell, I have this really cool idea, and then I'm like, wait, I've already done the idea, but that breaks this rule, and I've already done it. So oh well, I'm gonna give it in like this. Like, if anyone remembers me doing Selena's 500 subscriber shell, uh, I built basements, which is building walls, which rules. So yeah, and I did that within the first 10 minutes. It was like, I think what I'd done is downloaded the rooms or the shell and had a look at it. Because I think it was rooms and you were allowed to, well, it was a shell, but you were allowed to move around the rooms. So I'd move them around to where I wanted them to sit. Because it takes me some time to figure out where I want things to sit. It took me like a good maybe half an hour to an hour to move all of these lots into the right spot and measure them out and things like that. And then once I did, it was, yeah, all good. That's when I started streaming, recording. But yeah, with that one, I was sitting there for a bit going, oh, like, oh, I could put it like this, could put it like that, and what do I do with that? And just working my way through my thoughts, and then started recording, and yeah, 10 minutes within the recording, I broke the rule. It was so fast. It was just like straight away broke the rules. Um, so yeah, if you have a shell challenge and you don't want me to break the rules, please, please, please yell at me, because otherwise I will immediately forget and break the rules. Um, but it's also why I don't like making a lot of rules for my challenge. I really, really like having very loosey-goosey um, challenges where, yeah, you just kind of do your own thing, and uh, it's got maybe one or two rules and that's it. Like the A to Z challenge. The only rule is the letter of the week, it has to be inspired by that letter. I don't care what you do with that letter. I don't care what you do, if it's a room or a build or a cast creation or what. But you know, if it's the letter A, you can't build a barber because that's a B letter. That's the letter B. Um, so yeah, and the only other rule for that is no CC because I don't want console players to feel like they don't like. I love CC. Don't get me wrong, absolutely love CC. But yeah, having console players be like, I can't do anything. Like I can't play. I can't. Well, I mean, they can now. Console players are absolutely the best builders I've ever come across. But um, yeah, it's just to try and even the playing field. I know that PC players still have access to mods, but I can't exactly ban mods, and I also so you know uh, I don't know. Anyway, like I was saying, console players are fantastic and amazing and wonderful, and I can't get over how much they can do with such limitations. I mean, wasn't it at one point that you couldn't rotate the screen a certain way? That you couldn't see if things were floating or not? I couldn't do that. Could not do that. So if you're a console player, props to you. Mad props to you. But that's why I have the no CC rule for the A to Z challenge. Um, and just in case you're wondering what the A to Z challenge is, it is a 26-week challenge with a new letter each week. You don't have to do all the weeks. I think what I said last time was it's a 26-week challenge with 26 mini challenges in it. 26 mini challenge? Yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, each week you get a new letter, and then you do a build, a room, or a cast creation based off. And that's it. Like you just go nuts as long as it doesn't use CC. I don't care what you do. Um, and yeah, I've had a lot of people do builds. I've had a lot of people do rooms. Um, and I've only recently introduced cast because I keep forgetting that's a thing, and I don't want to exclude people. I want more people to be involved, which is why I'm also thinking about coming up with an A to Z. I don't want to say legacy challenge, but like gameplay challenge, rags to riches challenge. I have no idea. Something to do with A to Z and playing the game, but I don't play the game, so I don't know how that would work. Um, but anyway, yeah. That's A to Z challenge. If you're interested, we are getting very close to the end of it, but you can always get ahead in doing builds for next year or rooms or castles for next year. Or you could just do the letters that we're at now if you don't want to do them all, you just want to do one. Although these are the harder letters. So in December, W, X, Y, and Z. Why did I say Z? Z? I don't know. Whatever that last letter is, they're all due at the end or by the end of January. So yeah, you still have heaps of time if you'd like to do that. And you also could just get ahead for next year if you wanted, because I run it every July to December. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm thinking about turning it into a proper challenge, but I don't know how I would do or if I even want to do that. So we'll see how that goes. Still thinking about things, still got to figure out how I'm going to do the cast show off because I don't have house kits. I'll buy them just to show them off. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. Um, I'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll sort it out. Don't you worry. But anyway, yeah, the builds that I'm doing for it do include CC, but I also do it in February in 26 days, which is when I stream and show off all the builds. Um, yeah, very, very keen for that. It is a little exhausting to stream every day. It's almost every day of the February. I do take the last 2 days off because by the end I'm exhausted and I just don't want to. But yeah, we're gonna do lots of building over those days. Mm. I'm probably gonna get sick of building after a while and have a few days where I play like I don't know Minecraft or something, or some of the simulation games that I've got like Supermarket Sim or I can't even think of anything else. But yeah, I got a bunch of new games. There was some sales on recently, and I might get a few more. So we'll definitely have heaps of games to play. It won't just be simulated. definitely, yeah, definitely working on a lot of Sims builds over the next couple of years. Like a lot. So very keen to get in and get those done because I don't want to get behind. I really don't want to get behind. Um, I don't know how little Simsy does it. Like she does a build every day. She streams pretty much every day and has a life outside of it. Like she can hang out and like okay, she does a build every day, but she doesn't always stream Sims every day. She'll play other games. And I don't get it. It's intense. And I love it. Um, but yeah, I'm getting ahead of my schedule. Look, I had a schedule where I was ahead and I was like, I'm gonna get all these builds done by these dates, and I'm very far behind now. But I'm still ahead of my schedule of what I need to do. So I'm behind in being very far ahead, but I'm still ahead. But since I'm not really streaming, I don't think I'm gonna stream for the rest of the year over on Twitch. Because of that, I think I'm definitely going to work on builds off camera, which is definitely my favorite thing to do. I get a lot more done off camera. But I also love streaming and hanging out with people, getting help because I sometimes get so stuck. And with streaming, I can't pause and walk away and come back a couple hours later. Like I have to get it done. Whereas when I'm not streaming, I and then I don't get things done, and that's why this video is late. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be late, but it's more than likely going to be late because, um, yeah, I've been procrastinating quite a lot. I've been doing this build for almost a week now. Actually, yeah, this since it's Sunday now, I've been doing it since Monday. But it only took me 3 hours and 20 minutes to do. So yeah, heavy on the procrastination. But I'm hoping today I can either get started on the next. I probably should get started on the next. That's probably smart. Um, that one shouldn't take me as long. I have a certain idea of what I want to do, but I don't know how good I can. We'll see how that. Very. I'm very excited for it though. Like I think there's sometimes builds styles that I don't really do or ideas that I not try and avoid, but I just do end up avoiding because it's either cliche or too hard or not really my style. But I'm trying to get out of that comfort and yeah, build some fun new things. Like I've never really done a rural little village like this. I think this is one of my favorite builds, and I really struggle with like when I do builds like this with the I don't want to say like the city aspect of it, the livability, the um oh, I cannot think of the word, but like the exterior, the not just landscaping. We all know I struggle with landscaping, but when it's more than just a house, you would have like a little street and maybe a bus stop and signs and things like that, and that's what I really struggle with. So I'm very happy that with the way this one turned out. Um, actually, Onion, who's one of my roommates, is currently away, and he's been asking me to send him screenshots. So definitely gonna send him a few screenshots of this. Which I need to also take thumbnail for. But you know, that's fine. I've forgotten to put thumbnails on the last two videos, and that was because I went away for the first one, and then when I got back, I was exhausted, and then I kind of forgot from there. So yeah, definitely thumbnails on the well. Apologies for not doing that. But yeah, we are absolutely. I was gonna say we are absolutely happy with this build, but I did it by myself. I'm happy with this build. I'm gonna send it to him, get his feedback. But I cannot wait for Sarias to tour it. I don't know if Sarias will tour it because of what I've done. She's more looking to stream tour builds that are build, and she said she's only gonna tour two, so maybe I can get I can convince her to tour just this one, but I totally understand it because this is a huge build, like absolutely huge. It's a 64 by 64 lot. But I'm glad that I don't know, like sometimes when I do 64 by 64 lots, it's so overwhelming. Just there's so much going on. But this I don't feel like there really is an overwhelming amount of things going on. It's just a cute little village with stuff going on, and um, let me know your thoughts below on what you think of this build. If you love it, if you hate it, if you live in a rural place and it's accurate or inaccurate. Um, I absolutely love getting feedback from you guys. So yeah, definitely. But as I say, we're getting close to the end here. We're not. We're absolutely not getting close to the end here. This is just over halfway, I guess. And I've definitely run out of things to say, which is not unusual. I usually write stuff down. I'm usually so good with writing stuff down and being, oh, here's the little thing and the doodad and the doohickey, and I'll talk about this and that and whatever. And yeah, no, I'm a total silly goose. Let's say that. Uh, with that. But with actually this part of the video, this is the whole point of the build. This is why I wanted to do it. This is what I saw in my little brain, in my single-celled brain, and I wanted to build this. Just like this table down the middle with beautiful setting, and you know, having a Christmas dinner together because it's too hot to have Christmas breakfast or lunch. Um, and yeah, they're just celebrating our. And there's more chairs than there are people, so maybe they invite people from the surrounding farms, and you've got RSVP, so they don't know how many tables to put up and how many gifts to make and things like that. So I don't know, it was very fun to kind of create this build. And it's kind of when I start furnishing the house on the left on here, yeah. Now that I've started furnishing it, I've kind of got an idea of the people who live here, and then as I move to the next build and the next one after that, like the next house, I really get a good idea of what who I imagine living there. So the people on the left are an elderly couple who one of them loves woodworking and one of them really loves gardening. Um, so you'll see I do make a gift table. There's a gift table on one side and a food table on the other. But on the gift table side, there are some fruit and vegetables that have been grown and some flower arranging that has been done. And by flower arranging, I got a vase full of flowers. Um, that has been done so that when they're doing the gift giving, everybody gets a nice, beautiful set of flowers, and everybody gets some watermelon and pumpkin, and I think even some onions as well. So she's been growing some beautiful, fantastic food here. I totally see like the couple who live here. It's a grouchy old man who like barely tolerates kids, but secretly deep down is just soft. The biggest softie on the planet. Um, and she is a little bit grouchy towards him, but otherwise absolutely a soft. Just the most lovely Nana vibes that you ever get. But maybe they didn't have children, wouldn't have, or maybe they did have a child, and um, the child just doesn't visit or talk to them anymore. So they spend a lot of time with the people in the village here. And then the house across from them is a newly married couple who just had a baby boy. I don't know why a baby boy, but that's what I imagine. And they're a little bit overwhelmed and frazzled, and they were living somewhere but couldn't live there anymore, so they had to run away, and now they ended up here, and they're just a little bit panicked and feel a bit like outsiders, but are definitely very welcomed and loved, and so they're just trying to settle down and relax. And then the house on across from the cemetery uh is a I don't want to say a young family, like a family with kids, maybe one or two kids. But this is the house where all of the kids hang out, like all of them. Um, Whether they live at the farm or not, on the farms or not, live. They always shop at this house, so there's always kids running around and screaming and whatever. But they'll keep quiet during certain hours because they know that's when the baby is sleeping. There might be rambunctious, loud kids, but they've been taught baby's got to sleep, so we've got to be quiet, let the baby sleep. And I'm imagining the mum is like an amazing baker, absolutely amazing baker and cook. So she's cooked a lot of the foods for this event, and the fruit and vegetables and stuff that she's used has come from the elderly couple's garden. So they all kind of pitch in and help each other. The new couple feel very bad for not being able to um really supply or help out, so they've made sure to get some beautiful gifts for everyone. Just very heartfelt, thoughtful gifts and beautiful wrapping, and very, very useful and um practical gifts. Like they got the elderly couple some a pair of matching gnomes because maybe they I was gonna put gnomes in the garden. I completely forgot to. So we'll pretend there's gnomes in the garden. Um, but they've always talked about, oh, we really want to get matching gnomes, but we can't really find ones that match us or suit us. So they got these ones, hoping that they'd love it, and they do. Um, I don't know what other gifts they'd get for everyone else. They are definitely welcome in this community. Maybe they did make some well, but just yeah, they've literally just moved in, so they feel a little bit overwhelmed. But they're trying that. And then yeah, the mum from the other house is like, darling, don't worry, like I got you. You're good. If you want to come over here and you can bring your little hot thing for your baby and we can cook together and that way you're helping out still if that helps you feel better. That sort of stuff. And then yeah, she's got like a couple of kids maybe. If it was a bigger house, I'd say she'd have like 10,000 kids. Well, realistically, probably like eight, but um, yeah, because they're small houses, 8 kids into little house. Um, but maybe like the husband works away in like the mines or something, or is a long distance trucker or something. Like just yeah, there's a lot of um long distance work. So, when he comes back, he makes sure to spend as much time with the kids and hang out with them and yeah, hang out with the neighbors and stuff like that, and just make the most of his time when he's back home. I've lived as a kid of a long distance parent, so for me, I know exactly what that's like. Can be a little bit hard, but uh, at the end of the day, you need to work. You need, so I get it. That's why in my mind, he's very much like, doesn't matter how physically exhausted I am. When I get home, I'm spending my time with like the moment I get home, I'm spending the time with the kids. I'm not going off to lay down and decompress or whatever. I can do that at night. I need to spend some time with my wife, and then they let me decompress good and dandy. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely got the different life stages going on here. So there's all sorts of life stages. There's a baby, there's young kids, there's young adults. Technically, there's no toddlers, but we could say that maybe the baby is. I did put a baby in the backyard of the house with the baby, just chilling there. So we can pretend the parents are there, but at the moment, the baby is the only human in that. Actually, the only living creature. There's no. I was gonna put chickens in, but I know chickens sometimes run away. I think it's when you go into live mode, move around or disappear. So I'm not going to. I didn't want to put them in. This is going to be too good. And I also, I don't know, it just feels like I wanted to focus more on landscaping and decorating each house for each kid and what, sorry, for each family. It was really, really enjoyable, and I did finish it not that long ago. I'm not gonna lie. This bit you're looking at now, I did go, yeah, 2 hours ago. So yeah, what time? But I'm gonna go work on this second one today, and I feel like I could get it done if I just sat down and did it. I didn't distract myself or get not overwhelmed, but like I just get like, oh, I could take a break. But then instead of taking a 10-minute break and coming back, I take like three-day break. I'll come back. Or yeah, definitely definitely trying to take some more breaks. But I also think I'm just a little overwhelmed with everything going on right now, like the Christmas holidays, and gotta wrap presents and gotta get them my last gift. There's one at the post office, but the post office is open today, so I'm gonna go tomorrow and get it. And do I wrap my now and wrap that one later, or blah 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 blah. So I'm very much an overthinker. So and the fact that I'm doing a lot of builds as well, I'm definitely hitting burnout. As soon as the holiday's over, I bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna get in and smash out like 357 million builds. Okay, maybe not 357 million, but a lot. Because I go through phases, I go through cycles of like, I don't want to touch this game to I'm going to be doing every single build day. Um, and I'm hoping we're getting back into that. I feel like today I could definitely get. But yeah, now we are actually coming towards. So I'm just kind of putting in some things into the yards of the young couple and the family home. Um, I wanted it to feel like the couple who'd moved in, they really want to get into gardening as well, so they can grow their own vegetables and fruit, so they don't have to rely on like going to the store and stuff because they don't have transportation to the store, so they've got to rely on either the elderly couple or the mum next door. So yeah, they're trying to grow as much fruit and veggies as possible that they don't really have to rely on it. And the elderly people are happy to share their knowledge and be like, oh yeah, you do this, it'll help that grow, and if you grow these together and blah blah blah, this and that. So yeah, they've got a big patch of growing stuff, and they're gonna share it with everyone around, and even like the people on the farms, even though the people a megaton more of fruit and veggies than they do, but also it's a good way to trade with the farmers who eat. Like, okay, I'll give you all these veggies and whatever for like this. I don't know the uh, exchange rate of meat to veggies, but I imagine the meat would you'd get less meat than you would be giving veggies. I think that would be an equal, but like, or maybe the mum does like baking or something like that, is learning baking from well, and is trying to like set up a home business to sell foods around. County is the right word. I don't know if we do counties here around the local rural area. Um, yeah, it's just really, I don't know. I really enjoy doing builds like this where I get to really get in and create the people and the families like that behind it. So definitely let me know how you think and feel about that. Um, we are very close to finishing now, just fixing up a few last minute things, putting a bunch of bins in. Um, finished. I don't think I do anything else. But yeah, let me know what you think down below of this build. And is there anything like your Christmas? I will be doing like a snowy Christmas type vibe. That'll probably be the last video I put out. But yeah, let me know what Christmas looks like for you because I'm very keen. Even if you don't celebrate it, I'd love to know how you don't celebrate, like what you do on the day instead. Um, yeah, thank you for listening to me rant and ramble as usual. Oh, that's right. I do a little soccer field out here and a little. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for listening to me rant and ramble. Uh, I really do appreciate it because sometimes I have no idea what I'm talking about and I kind of just rant and ramble and we end up with. But definitely let me know if you've enjoyed it and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.